This is Joseph Michael from the band Witherfall, and you're listening to the Nothing Shocking podcast.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking podcast, a non-genre based, all ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
We're putting the band back together.
The numbers all go to 11.
I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. What about Sabbath? AC/DC. Motorhead.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I get up off the ground and raise my head. Days like this, think I should be dead. One for Satan, two for me. Let's cheat the devil, it's fun, don't you agree?
Welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeff Untied, and with me in Dog Bowl Studios is
Coach Nez.
You can find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Libsyn or any podcatchers. Like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter at NoShockPod.
You can also find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Rock Rage Radio every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. Our sponsor is Ragged Records, located in downtown Rock Island, Illinois, and downtown Davenport, Iowa. We'd like to thank the Hong Kong Sleepover for allowing us to use their music for our intro and bumper ending. Tonight's guest is
Joseph Michael of Witherfall.
And Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Witherfall has a new album anticipated for this May of 2024. What's it called?
Sounds of the Forgotten.
Yeah, so great interview, great guy. Let's get to it.
All right.
Good night.
As 2023 is coming to a close, we've had a fantastic year here on the Nothing Shocking podcast. Hope you've enjoyed the variety of episodes we've shared with you. Wishing everyone a happy holidays and blessings in the new year.
Joseph, welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'd like to introduce you my co-host, Jeff Untied.
Joseph, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you for your willingness to participate. Sorry, last night you got the wrong date and everything, but we got you on tonight, so we're ready to go, man.
Dude, it's been a whirlwind of craziness putting this record out, starting the new label.
Well, very good. Let's get right into it. So Witherfall has announced the release date to the band's highly anticipated new album, Sounds of the Forgotten. The album is set for release of May 31st of 2024. Can you give our listeners an insight to this new creative endeavor?
Well, I mean, we started recording this record on January 1st. Literally 2 hours after New Year's Eve, New Year's, I flew to LA and we tracked drums on January 1st with Marco Miniman. And, I mean, we're still doing some production stuff as far as like music videos, but, we're just about wrapped up. It was a long one, man. We usually don't take, this amount of time to do all of this stuff, but we were in 4 different states, 4 or 5 different studios. It was madness.
Yeah, very good.
There's three singles out there: A Lonely Path, Insidious, and Ceremony of Fire. Can you talk a little bit about the choosing those 3 tracks as singles?
Well, A Lonely Path is basically the intro for Insidious.
Okay.
So that's why that was released together. I mean, Insidious. I mean, I don't know how much you guys have listened to this, but it's a little bit of a departure for us as far as adding some extreme elements to the music. Ceremony's basically just it's like Witherfall's take on like a King Diamond song.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. This will be the band's fourth studio album since 2017. How has the band's creative songwriting process progressed since the band's inception?
Honestly, it's stayed the same since the first day Jake and I got together writing. That's how all of this stuff comes to fruition. It's just Jake and I sitting in a room and putting together compositions. Like, hasn't changed at all since day one.
You mentioned working on some videos. Which song are you working on a video for now?
We just finished up the band portion for the video for Sounds of Forgot. But there's a video for every single song on the record.
Oh, cool.
To add on to that question is, when it comes to making videos, as far as directing the videos go, do you guys do it yourselves, or do you bring an outside source to it? How does it work?
You know, we've always had a couple of guys that we work with, like the crazier videos, like The Other Side of Fear and Insidious. We partnered with a guy that does special effects,
nice.
Sig Neutron. And then we've been working with Brad Cooper since Curse of Autumn. He did the River and Boston song video, as well as the instrumental. And he basically, him and a crew, like 3 people, and the band flew to upstate New York, and we filmed all the band portions of the music videos there, and then we've been just slowly completing the other pieces of the videos in LA.
Yeah, very good. With Sound of the Forgotten being released at the beginning of the summer, I guess what can your fans expect as far as the summer touring schedule goes? What do you guys got in the works?
You know, we don't actually have anything solidified. I mean, COVID really screwed the touring part of this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the same Evergrey tour canceled and rescheduled like 5 times. You know, since COVID, and I think they're actually still out there trying to rebook that. I mean, don't quote me on that, but that's what I hear. That part of the industry is really tough for us. We have all our guys are pro level musicians, and you know they play in other bands. They get paid. We pay them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that tacks on a whole other bill every time we go out for like a month or so.
I guess if we could talk about touring pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I know it feels like a million years ago, but with that being said,
right.
what was the blueprint for Witherfall as far as touring goes? Were you guys stateside, or were you guys going over to Europe? What was the methodology behind the touring?
I mean, it all comes down to the offer. To be honest, if you look at our touring history, it's been rough. You know, we had our original drummer died when we were putting the final touches on our last record. So that kind of put a damper on any live shows for a while. And then in 2018, Jake joined Iced Earth, so he was gone for half the year. And 2019, we did a run with Sonata Arctica in Europe for like 5 weeks, and then I joined Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So between Jake being in Iced Earth and Demons and Wizards, and me being in Sanctuary, it became really difficult to work around those, especially because both bands were, you know, really heating up, with Iced Earth doing a record and Demons and Wizards doing that record they did. They headlined Talkin', you know, us trying to do the comeback after Moral's passing, doing all those tribute tours and whatnot. So, and then, of course, as soon as all that passes and we do Curse of Autumn, and then COVID.
Exactly.
So there was no pre-COVID opportunities for Witherfall, really, you know.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about you joining Sanctuary. Can you tell us a little bit about how that opportunity came about?
Honestly, I had tickets and hotel rooms booked to go hang out with Jake and Iced Earth and the Sanctuary guys in San Diego. And they were all set to go, and then Oral passed away in December before the tour. We heard about it from the label, like while we were me and Jake were working on some bonus tracks for our Japanese version of I think it was Nocturnes, not sure. And then another band that we we can't really mention was slated to take Sanctuary's place, and then the drummer in that band broke his arm, so you could make your best guesses if you look at that time frame. So John Schaefer, he called up Lenny and was like, "Don't you know any singers you could, make it like a tribute tour, like, because they were set to lose a lot of money. You guys have been around this business a while.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, like, it's not like you just pick up with your suitcases the day before. Like, there's deposits on buses and crew and flights, and I mean, they probably would have, if they didn't do that tour, Lenny and those guys probably would have lost like $20,000.
Mm.
So Schaefer called him up, and he's like, "How long do I have? I'll think about it." Then John just happened to mention me because Jake and I had worked together. And he's like, "I think Jake's singer might be able to pull off the Worrell stuff. You should check it out." And they did. They called me. I did some demos from like Refuge and some other songs, and that was that. Like, it was a good tour. It was fun. It was emotional.
Yeah. When you took over for vocals on Sanctuary, let's face it, Worrell Dane's vocals are a very, I guess maybe an intimidating,
legendary.
Yeah, legendary, but maybe an intimidating task for somebody to come in and fill those shoes. Was it intimidating for you to come over to Sanctuary and fill in on those vocals that have been so legendary over the years?
No, not for me. It was more intimidating for, I think, Lenny and those guys because, they were expecting, tomatoes and shit. But, because you could go out and do, a stellar job and still have, 10% of the people going, "Why the fuck are they doing this? This is a cash grab." Like, like get $1 million, like opening, for Iced Earth. No, I don't. I've been doing this long enough, and I'm pretty confident in my skill set. And the one thing I'll say is that we played a lot of that old, classic metal stuff with the crazy high notes, and that stuff I'm pretty comfortable with. It's not, it's nothing that I don't have under my thumb,
Sure.
Well, yeah, because you got some pretty good pipes yourself, just from what I listened to with Witherfall. Have you been singing a long time? Did you sing in school or anything earlier, or did you just want to be in a rock band and try it?
Not at all. I started out as a guitar player. Like 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
And the reason I started singing is because I couldn't find anyone that could sing the shit that I was writing.
It works.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, I still play. I play a bunch of instruments, but it's the reason I got into it was because I couldn't find any singers like how I ended up, or like a Worrell Dane, or I mean, there's a million I could name.
Yeah.
Vocally, you're known to have like an operatic style. But what techniques do you use to keep that vocal cords and that vocal range alive? Do you have any techniques, or is this like a organic, natural thing for you? Are you a freak of nature?
I mean, there's nothing organic about a vocalist. Like, anyone that tells you they have natural ability is full of shit. It's just they don't really recognize what they're doing as, practice or whatever, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't do any warm-ups. I don't do any exercises. I think a lot of that is just, it's like how lawyers invent words, so you have to pay them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and no disrespect to the teachers out there, because some of them do know what they're talking about. They're not talking out of their ass, but what you're accomplishing by doing a lot of those exercises, you can accomplish just the same by singing like an actual fucking song.
Sanctuary has a highly anticipated new album on the horizon, Transmutation. What can Sanctuary fans anticipate for this new album release date?
Well, I don't know if they can anticipate that to be the album title.
I thought I read somewhere it was called Transmutation. Is that not right?
Yeah, I mean, that was floated. That's Lenny's baby. I think he even designed a logo for that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You know, like with Witherfall, we don't title the record until we have the full concept and the songs and everything. And I think Lenny might have jumped the gun on that one, but and I don't think the label liked it either. But besides that, we recorded like 3 songs in June before Witherfall went and did the music videos for Sounds. So they're I think Lenny's still putting on a couple of little touches on guitar, but they're being mixed right now by Zeus.
Nice. Oh yeah.
You got the heavy hitter working for you guys.
Yeah. We actually all flew out to Seattle and we recorded the drums at the same studio that they did all those other records at. What is it? Sound House? I think it's something like that.
Yep.
Like the one where they did the Soundgarden records and the early Soundgarden records.
Yeah.
And actually, Jake Dreyer makes a guest appearance on lead guitar.
Ah, nice. Very good. Jeff, you got the next one?
I think I read you have done some guest vocals for other bands and stuff like that. Is that something you look forward to doing more of? Maybe doing some one-off appearances, or you just want to stick with Witherfall and Sanctuary?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of writing for other people, some soundtrack work, and the guest vocal thing. I really have to. It has to be something that I'm willing to get my hands dirty on. Because I don't just sing other people's songs. I'm not gonna have someone send me something and I'm gonna sing it like I'm an in-base band. I'm a writer first and foremost.
Sure.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of guest stuff, and I'd be really into doing some guest spots with some bands on that do a little bit different stuff. Because you always get the offers for the prog or the power or classic metal stuff, but it'd be cool to do some stuff that's a little different.
Well, I guess let's talk a little bit more about the opportunities of vocally working as a hired gun for other artists. Do those opportunities come to you consistently, or how has it been throughout your career as far as being a hired gun on vocals?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I did my first record as a vocalist in 2007, I've been getting pretty consistent offers. But once I did that White Wizzard record, the one where I met Jake on, that was the first really high profile thing that I had done, and that's when I really started to get a bunch of offers. And you do one out of 50 of them.
Yeah.
You'll get a bunch that are good money, but they're not good. So I don't want to name names, but some guys take them anyway, and it's not a good look. And then you'll get some that the music's good, but the guys have no business backing, and it's you can't just give away your I hate to say product, but you can't work for free.
Yeah, very
it's a
good.
tough industry.
Very good. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about now 1998 through 2003, you were the bassist and backup vocals for the Peppermint Creeps. Can you talk a little bit more? Can you talk a little bit more about your time within the Peppermint Creeps, and how did it all start for you?
That timeline's a little weird. I moved to Los Angeles in April of '99, and I did the whole cliche Axl Rose Greyhound bus from New York.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anyone, so I slept on the street for like a week, and I walked around and tried to meet people, meet musicians, and I met this crazy guy, Tracy Michaels. He was working in this rehearsal studio called Fortress, and I literally had been just off the bus at like 6 a.m. and it's like 4 p.m. and I'm like probably dirty. I was wearing like blue jeans, which I never wear. And this dude with piercings and pink hair, like fucking looking like a gay Nikki Sixx. And then, like I asked him like, hey, do you know anyone that needs any singers? He's like, no, we need a bass player. And I'm like, okay, like, let me audition for your band. He's like, you said you were a singer. And I'm like, well, yeah, I play bass. And so I listened to a cassette tape. It was produced by Randy Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
And I just basically like one listen, learned all their stuff. So he kind of like took me under his wing. Took me about a week of going to rehearsals on time and hanging out with them at the Rainbow before they let me move in with them. But I played a bunch of shows around Hollywood with those guys. But it wasn't that long. It was like 99 and part of the year 2000. And then they broke up. Their singer had visa issues. He had to go back to Canada.
I'm going to really switch gears on, and I'm going to throw something out there for you and Jeff. So I would sometimes throw this question to our guests as far as, a lot of our guests really don't listen to the type of music or genre that they create. But as far as, what have you been listening to as far as new or old music goes?
Oh, God. I mean, my schedule's so crazy. I don't really. I think Prince said it. Like if I need to listen to new music, I'll just write something. That's kind of a symptom of just the schedule, the hectic schedule that you're kind of in. But my music listening comes in the form of like if I decide I'm gonna do some drinking that night, then I'll throw on a bunch of stuff on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, or God forbid, get the vinyl collection out and just drink and sing. That's probably why I try not to drink as much, because if I start drinking, then it's like an 8-hour marathon until 5 in the morning of singing and drinking.
Oh, very good.
Nothing done half-assed,
For sure. For me, I've been listening to 2 albums pretty consistently. I've been listening to Hell Awaits by Slayer, because I love early Slayer stuff. And also been listening to Black Flag My War, because I'm still a hardcore punk kid at heart. So that's what I've been listening to. Jeff, what have you been listening to?
Well, I had to go back to my roots a little bit and listen to Rush the other day, because I was reading. I got, my heart started palpitating when I read the, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, might get together and do something. And I just happened to look and see that Geddy had released a couple of demo tracks from his solo, when he had that one solo album that he hadn't, that were not released before. So I was listening to those today.
That brings up a really good question. Did Rush have any influence on you as far as a musician or on your vocals at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. No.
Not a fan.
No, I actually don't. I don't like Geddy Lee's vocals. No, not at all. I won't turn off Rush, and I have a couple Rush records, but like the vocals are like the least, enjoyable thing about Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me, Joseph. You're absolutely killing me.
It's all right, everybody. Everybody. That's why everybody likes to.
It is. It's there's a resonance thing in there and a delivery thing that get me. I mean, the guy's definitely a talented singer and a musician, and the melodies aren't. I'm not saying the melodies are bad. It's like there's like some power metal singers that it's like obvious that they're good singers, but the stuff that they're singing just doesn't resonate with me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of our allotted time for this evening. I got one last question for you, then we'll leave you alone.
Oh, God.
I ask this question of all of our guests. The mystery of rock and roll, it's no longer a thing with the internet and all the damn social medias that are out there. We don't have a Kiss mystery. We don't have a Led Zeppelin. We don't have a Queen any longer. Their mysteries are, all these mysteries are gone now. But for you, the artist and the fan, what do you prefer? That mystery and mystique that rock and roll once had, or do you like this new age of accessibility?
No, first of all, thank you for mentioning Queen. That's like Witherfall's favorite band.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Honestly, Witherfall could have been plucked out of the 70s. You know, we're like a 70s band with modern production more than like a new metal band. At least that's how I see it. And I'm pretty sure Jake agree with me. Go head over someday to Jake's social media and you'll see that guy hasn't posted dog shit in fucking like a year. He hates social media, and you're lucky. I'm lucky I can get him to post the link to the record when it comes out. Because I do most of this type of work for the band. And do I like it? No, it's really stupid. like I said, I was a guitar player when I started, and I got into like Slash, like really heavy, and I can't imagine like that Slash would have had the same weight if I saw him eating Cheerios on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Or if like Andy Rhodes was like dressed up in an Easter Bunny suit, like Facebook page, or fucking getting kissed on the cheek by his girlfriend in a Twitter fucking photo. Like, yeah, you're spot on. Like the mystique is really really missing. Like, no, people were afraid of those skinny fucks in Led Zeppelin because they didn't know if like they were sacrificing babies, like you didn't know what Jimmy Page was having for dinner or when he took a fucking shit or, it's detrimental for sure. Like there's a reason why like hip hop really took over the zeitgeist of like modern, like pop metal. And it's because you don't know if those guys have committed any crimes, or you don't know. Like, you don't know what the fuck those guys did.
Yeah, for sure. We're out of our allotted time this evening. Is there anything that we left off that you would like to plug or promote?
Well, if Jake was here, he'd say, buy our product, and he'd probably be talking about our wine over at Charlie and Echo. But, just go and check out the videos and the songs, and make sure you share those on, the godforsaken social medias, because the algorithm has never been our friend.
It's not our friend either. So,
well, I'll share your podcast when this is out.
Very good.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. So this is how things are going to work out. After Jeff gets this all cleaned up, we'll get the link sent out to you, and please share wherever you possibly can.
Awesome, man. I will do. I'll blast it out to all our email subscribers too.
Joseph, thank you so much.
Yeah, we had fun. Thank you.
No, thank you. That was a blast, man. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll send you an email. I got some shirts and some hoodies and stuff. I'll send over to you if you're interested.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
pays their bills instead. Hide in the spotlights, fight the grip of death. You can have the air you need, but you best not take one breath. Hey. Roll the dice. Take your chances.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.